What foods do you usually eat or not eat? How and why do you eat them?
Bacon. I'm gonna try the black pudding.
Hello, I'm Xiangchun. Welcome to my channel. Today, I will talk about eating. Eating may be the most common and fundamental activities in our daily lives. Among the wide variety of foods, we choose to eat something while refusing others. We eat certain foods at specific time and organizing eating in a certain ways. We may enjoy eating some foods while feeling disgusted by others. This video uses 3 theoretical dimensions to explore eating. It is not based on the nutritional or physiological perspective, such as hunger, appetite, but from a sociological and a cultural lens to explain eating.
I firmly believe that how and what we eat is who we are.
I think that, to me, food is a looking glass into that culture. Wherever you're at, whatever country or city or even neighborhood in the states that you're in, to understand where the locals eat.
This video, entangling these 3 dimensions together, tries to help map out a general theory for your eating. Now, take a moment to check if you can truly explain your general eating behaviors. Do you agree or disagree with these explaining dimensions? Or you have your own theory to explain eating? Please feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments section. Now, let's dive into eating together. Anthropologist Salins, devoted to arguing the processes of economic rational production, are always culturally influenced. He illustrated this argument by examining the cultural and symbolic meanings of different foodstuffs. He found that all societies have hierarchical classification of what is edible, and what is edible varies across cultures. For example, in the contemporary West, the edible hierarchy runs from cattle to pigs to horses to dogs. It is much more acceptable to eat cattle than dogs due to the degree of closeness to humans. An interesting example is color association. In explaining why Japanese people aren't grossed out by that black Burger King burger, Eva Hyatt compared the cultural differences in color meanings between the US and Japan. In the US, black is associated with death, unlike in Japan, where white is associated with death. And people might think that black food is molded or spoiled, or associated with flavor like licorice. However, the Japanese are used to eating black seaweed, black walnut powder, squid ink, and a lot of green muted colored foods. So a black burger bun and cheese would not seem too unusual to them. Recently, edible insects have gained global attention due to their nutritional and environmental advantages over conventional meat like beef and sheep. But most Western consumers react with disgust and aversion towards eating insects that are not regarded as food, whereas insects are part of the local food in Southeast Asian countries or Central American countries, where they are easily acceptable. Science also captures well this potential of food to arouse disgust. He noted the uproar in the US when in the economic downturn associated with the crisis of oil prices in 1973. The government suggested that the poor should eat often. Thus, eating cannot be explained simply in terms of the youth value, because there is always a symbolic cultural system at play. But science didn't explain why in the same cultural surroundings, not everyone eats the same foods within the same ways. Bourdieu built another fundamental understanding of eating. In his book, Distinction, he showed a story of social alchemy, that powerful people successfully and repeatedly establish a belief that what they like is the best, especially in terms of aesthetic value, involving what and how they eat, drink, dress, entertain, etc., and then obtaining the regard and respect from others for their good taste. On the basis of the good taste, they can achieve other forms of reward and privilege. They convert the recognition and acceptance of their good taste, their cultural capital, into other types of capitals, such as economic capitals, involving money, jobs, and social capitals, involving marriage, high social status, and prestige. For Bourdieu, these good tastes act around a central concept, habitus. Habitus refers to ingrained experiences and predispositions, involving one's certain way of thinking, feeling, and acting. Habitus is acquired from childhood with one's family and social environment. Acting within a habitus results in behaving almost automatically in an unreflective manner that seems natural. Habitus is one person share with others in a similar social position. Food eating exemplifies this social distinction in daily life. Bourdieu compared working class and bourgeois meals. The themes of working class meals include an appearance of abundance, a preference to serve with the latter, to avoid much marrying or exact division, putting everything on the table at once to save labor, and using the same plates for different courses, all of which features symbolize freedom, liberty, and a relaxed relationship to eating. In contrast, the bourgeois household is concerned to eat with all proper form. Form includes restraints, following proper sequences, especially through separate courses, taking modest amount of food and cultivated table manners. The bourgeois modality is an expression of a habitus of order, restraint, and propriety. However, people criticize this social distinction as it often stigmatizes the food and bodies associated with the poor, while convincing the middle and upper middle classes that their dietary choices mean they deserve their status, thus exacerbating pernicious social divides. Ironically, people still enthusiastically embrace this so-called good taste. A typical example is drinking wine. Many people consult sommeliers to find out what they like to drink. But are they really going to discover what they like? I don't think so. What sommeliers help people with is not discovering what they like, but rather assisting them to acquire good taste. Even though it usually comes with the risk that if people like it, whether genuine or not, it may be seen as pretentious. Because good taste is closely associated with economic and social capitals, there is a perception that People could be performing this preference in order to attain the associated capital. In addition to Stalin's cultural meanings and Bourdieu's social stratification, the third fundamental dimension of eating comes from the works of Levi Strauss and Mary Douglas, who emphasize the social organizing principles of eating. Although eating varies across different societies and cultures, it still adheres to basic binary structure in the human minds, such as black and white, high and low, light and dark. Levi Strauss detailed explained this principle in his work of the culinary triangle. For example, within a binary structure of concave and convex, concave corresponds to boiling food in a pot, while convex corresponds to grilling food on a barbecue grill. Boiled food is generally eaten indoors with family members, while grilled food is typically eaten outdoors, usually with friends. This correspondence extends to structures like inside and outside, intimate and distant. A typical example of this in eating is the Yin-Yang principle. The regulation of diet as a disease preventive or cure is as common in the West as it is in China.
But the evidence just got even stronger for food as medicine.
Common Western examples include diet for arthritis and the recent craze for organic food. But the Chinese case is distinctive for its underlying principles. In the Chinese view, bodily functions follow the basic Yin-Yang principles.
So only when everything has these two elements, including the human body, so only when we have the balance, good harmony between the two sides, then we reach a good health.
Many foods can be classified as possessing either yin or yang qualities. Generally, foods that cause weight gain, calm emotions, have cooling effects are considered yin, such as white radish, pears, vinegar. Conversely, foods that provide strength, uplift spirits, and have warming effects are considered yang, such as pepper, ginger, beef. As Chinese, we do follow this principle in eating, maintaining a balance between yin and yang, the warm and the cool. Here, food is not just good to eat, but also good to think with. In addition to Levi Strauss' ideas about eating, Mary Douglas offers another perspective, social classification. There exists a social classification system underlying eating, which highly influences your daily eating patterns, including your eating times, formats, and contents. If your eating behaviors deviate from this system, it may lead to feeling of discomfort and strangeness. In Douglas's book, Purity and Danger, she explained this social classification. For example, what you perceive as dirt is not because the dirt itself, but rather because it is out of place. Shoes placed on the floor is considered appropriate, whereas placing them on the table may feel dirty. Similarly, in a certain society, eating bread for breakfast is acceptable, but eating a lobster for breakfast may feel strange, right? Therefore, all your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including when you eat, what you eat, and how you eat, are all regulated according to your own social classification system. These three dimensions of eating, including culturally influenced, social distinction, and social organization, entangled to some extent in mapping out a general theory to explain eating. They help identify the different dimensions of eating behaviors, why, what, and how you eat in your current manners. Whether this eating triangle offers a general understanding to your eating behaviors, welcome to leave your comments in the comments section. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Hoping you all have a very lovely day. Let's meet again next time. Bye bye.